What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris, bringing you more games from the Starseries Season 3. This is from the LAN event. This is going to be between GDB on the Radiant side, the good B team, I guess, and Skane's Elit on the Dire. You can see a lot of Skane's Elit players wearing the Pulse tag, and they also have that Pulse logo or whatever. That is their current sponsors. Skane's Elit was the sponsorless team. But anyway, we finally have more .75 games coming your way. I've kind of been busy and lazy also. The bans gonna be TA, Jakiro, plus the CK and Wisp. Wisp, a specialty ban, and really CK is as well versus Skane's Elit. Jakiro and TA still, TA very a strong hero from the .74 era, but Jakiro, one of, if not the best support hero in the new version. And if you did not know, if you were under a rock or something, the GDB team is the Mouse squad playing under a different tag, a different team. I believe they had some falling out with the Mouse Sports organization, so then the GD studio put them through to the Star Ladder, which is very nice of them. And then I think right now they're Team 0, so this is just a one-time thing, but still, it's essentially going to be Mouse versus Skane's Elit. The first pick is going to be the Darkseer, following up with the Enigma plus the Undying. So right off the bat, GDB is going to have a huge amount of teamfight. Darkseer and Enigma in and of themselves, huge teamfight heroes, but then once you add Undying to the mix, because you do get that damage amplification. Wow, that's a huge tooltip, okay. But you do get that damage amplification when you turn into a Flesh Golem, plus all of his other spells are really good when the enemy is clustered. So if they could land those giant teamfight spells, they should be in pretty good shape. Skane's Elit, on the other hand, they're going to open up with Chen, Leshrac, and then third pick, that Juggernaut. That is going to give them a pretty strong lane. Leshrac, Juggernaut, I don't know if they want to lane it like that. They might want to lane it like that, because if Juggernaut gets some speed, he'd kill a fair amount of people. Although against a Darkseer, you're going to have to rely quite a bit on stuns. But Skane's Elit, they do have that hard carry in the Juggernaut, as well as a little bit of early pushing potential. Usually you see Juggernaut with the early points of healing ward, get one or two of those by the time you want to push down a tower. Chen has a creep, or not usually two actually, so he usually has one creep, and then Leshrac has something like 2 points of Edict. And by that time you can push down all the way to the tier 2s if the Skane's Elit decide to lane those three heroes on the top lane. And if they do so, they're most likely going to be up against Darkseer. I don't know if they could get a kill, it depends how the split earths are, depends how aggressive the Darkseer is. But the Darkseer won't be able to hold back the push for very long. The bans are coming out now. Going to be the Batrider Invoker, plus the Tidehunter Nature's Prophet. Batrider is the only new face we see in those ban areas. He's really just a lane dominator in this new era of Dota that we are currently in. Rubik is going to be another ban, but yeah, GDB getting rid of that counter initiation as well as that global ganking presence. Going to get a final ban out. That Venomancer, knowing that GDB, they're kind of low on support. Undying, Enigma, and Darkseer really all require a similar amount of farm, but still they don't really have anyone to sacrifice everything that they have to buy those wards. GDB, on the other hand, they're just getting rid of Skane's Elit's lanes, because they know that the Chen is definitely going to go into the jungle. Juggernaut is going to need protection in a lane. So then if you get rid of the Nature's Prophet, eliminate that long lane possibility, and kind of Tidehunter as well, Rubik for the mid lane. They're just really trying to force Skane's Elit into heroes that they would not want to have onto those lanes, but they do still have plenty of choices, so it's just narrowly restricted their hero choice through those bans. GDB, they could keep going for the huge team fight idea, pick up someone like an Earthshaker. Of course, whenever you go for a giant team fight strategy, it's always very risky. It's great eye candy, definitely. Like if you land all the spells, oh, they're gonna go for Dazzle. Well, that is definitely going to be their primary support hero, the 5 role. But the thing is with Dazzle is that he does need a lot of experience. He is a decent team fighter. You keep the Undying alive with that Shallow Grave, and then Undying has a lot of time to get additional help on him. Skane's Elit going to respond with the Keeper of the Light, probably going to solo lane, and ooh, GDB going to go for the Pugna. So wow, yeah, the team fight for GDB is pretty darn huge. Pugna with that Nether Ward just shuts down pretty much, or just at least punishes everyone from Skane's Elit, allowing for the rest of the heroes to do the damage. But the thing that GDB does not have going for them is that they lack a real right clicker like the Juggernaut, so they don't really scale all that well into the super late game, although with the values that they have, the flat values, plus the amount of lockdown, plus the amount of burst magical damage, they'll be able to hold their own, well 40 minutes into the game. Their only problem is if Juggernaut gets really big, it's going to be a little bit of a tough time to lock him down. If he gets a BKB, they do have the black hole for that, but he's not going to be taking any damage during that. So it's going to be a little bit of an issue for GDB. So they have to be a little bit aggressive early. They have to find the correct team fights, and if they do that, they should be able to make things happen. Skane's Elite with that Keeper of the Light pick, probably going to force Leshrac into a lane. I want to say it could still be a long lane Keeper of the Light, which we have seen a couple of times. But Skane's Elite right now, I do believe they need a mid lane. So exciting to see these different heroes. Like Dazzle is never ever picked. I don't even think he got changed that much. The problem with Dazzle is that he needs a lot of experience. Really, all of the Radiant heroes need a lot of experience. Enigma's going to find it in the jungle. Darkseer might find a little bit on that hard lane if he does go there. The other three heroes, if they are going to dual lane it up, or 2.5 lane, then well, Dazzle usually does excel in a solo lane. I mean, it's kind of weird thinking about it. Like you don't really want to lane a support in a solo lane, but it does really well there because once you get those levels up, Dazzle is just so much more useful. It looks like the last pick for Skane's Elite going to be that CM. So that is going to be another one of their support heroes, which is going to force Leshrac up as far as the farm priority goes. Okay, sorry about that, guys. That was just a pause. That wasn't even a cut. Let me check something. Let's see what GDB has going for them. They have Black on the Undying, and the Black is usually the primary farmer for Mouse, so he's going to be trying to get as much gold as he possibly can on that bot lane. Sing Sing is going to be playing that Pugna mid lane. Bambo heading up towards the top lane as per usual. Alex supporting as the Dazzle, and Kuroki is on that Enigma. He's going to go jungle. I don't think he's going to dual lane with Bambo. That could be very interesting because he does have 3 branches, which is usually not what you see. On the Skane's Elite side, or I guess I could call him Pulse, so I'll call him whichever one I call them here again to deal with it. It's going to be Region on the hard carry, Juggernaut, Fishbone supporting his Crystal Maiden, Mini on the Chen, Waga on the Keeper of the Light, and Techno Boy. Where's Techno Boy? Is this someone different? It's Pinoy. Okay, it's Pinoy on the Leshrac. It would be kind of weird if they replaced someone with a different person at the LAN event, especially considering that they did pretty darn well to, first of all, make it to the LAN event, and then they made it, like, I think 3rd or 4th? I have no idea. But either way, it is going to be a tri-lane on the top lane versus a... Well, I don't really know yet, because Kuroki does have a laning setup. Although, you could really easily jungle with this. 4 Clarities, you could jungle with that, no matter what other items you have. Apparently Kuroki forgot to... he was just chilling there. He was supposed to get the conversions to help out the Darkseer a little bit. Help him get a little bit closer to the tower, but I guess Kuroki fell asleep or something like that. But in the bot lane, it is going to be a long lane Keeper of the Light versus a dual lane of Dazzle and Undying. And in these two heroes, they're not going to die anytime soon. Even if they get ganked. I mean, Dazzle does have that Shallow Grave. Undying, one of the most survivable heroes just because he has so many ways of increasing his health pool. You got the Decay to steal some strength. Of course, you have the Soul Rip, and then the Tombstone doesn't exactly heal you, but it is a huge deterrent. So Keeper of the Light probably going to not get much. He knows that Alex is around, and if he goes up, then he's going to take a lot of harassment. And unfortunately, have the X's flying whenever we have the water splashing animation. That's kind of unfortunate. Mid lane, it is going to be Leshrac with a Pugna. That last CM pick did allow the Leshrac to get a little bit more farm and a little more priority there. And CM Juggernaut is a pretty solid combo. Against Darkseer, look towards CM getting a little bit more Frostbite than she ordinarily would. Or, you know, it's not really not an ordinary build, but just prioritizing the Frostbite so that when the Darkseer does use his Surge, he's not going to be moving anywhere very quickly. The mid lane should and is favoring the Pugna. Until the Leshrac gets a couple more levels up on his spells, then well, he's pretty much at the mercy of these Nether Blasts. If Pugna keeps on the pressure, he should be fine. I don't know. Both teams are going for a bottle. That is a bottle on the Pugna. I do believe if anything is going to happen, it's going to happen on this top lane. CM Juggernaut is a awesome, just like pub thrashing combo. But hey, even against a hero in a pro game, should still do pretty well. Unfortunately, Fishbone's getting punched down pretty hard by this Darkseer. Still, Pinoy in the mid lane. He's going toe-to-toe with Pugna. And Keeper is actually doing okay for himself. He's getting a couple creep kills. That's really why Keeper of the Light kind of works on a long lane, because the Illuminate has such a huge range. You can see, when I mouse over it, you can see like the very edge of the circle. He could pretty much hit from a mile away. And even though he probably isn't going to be controlling lane all that well, he's going to be getting something out of that lane. Chen has a double damage rune. Heading up towards the top lane, they want to get an early push, as I was mentioning before. It's not going to be a push with the Leshrac for this time. But still, with the Chen creeps, what level is Chen? He's level 2. Once Chen gets a couple more creeps, which isn't going to be for a while, but they can make a very aggressive push. Does the Juggernaut have a healing ward? No, he's going for stats. Oh, well, there you go. He does have a healing ward. So on the back of that, they could go for a push onto Bambo's tier 1 tower. It's going to be a little bit difficult, though, because usually you do rely on that Edict to do a bulk of that damage whenever you're pushing a tower, really. But without that, replacing it with the CM, who really doesn't do shit against towers, it's going to slow down the push a whole lot. Of course, Skone's Elite there, and no rush to get these towers. They do have the better late game with the Juggernaut. Juggernaut is pretty good against these other heroes, the Blade Fury nullifying pretty much everything that GDB could throw at him. The only problem is that if Skone's Elite get caught in a team fight, then they're all just going to die. There's no doubt about that. Not much going on right now. Croaky still farming up that jungle. It's pretty much what Enigma does. You can't really do anything to prevent that. And he could go for a push on the bottom lane just as easily as Skone's Elite could go for a push on the top lane. If he dips out of that jungle, well, he will have the Shadow Wave. Keep the entire creep wave healthy. Undying is pretty good at clearing those creeps. Also very tanky as well if he could land a couple of decay charges onto Wagamama. And then with the conversions to do the damage, they could get a very, very quick tower race to the haste rune. It's going to be picked up by the Keeper of the Light. Now we have an int hero battle in the river. Just doing a little bit of harassment. But I do believe Croaky probably came up on the upper side of that. With that Soul Ring regeneration, he's going to be in a little bit better condition. Mini, looking towards the mid lane, he doesn't have any disables, but he does have a lot of burst damage. Splitter does land on Sing Sing. There goes the Edict. He's going to be taking a lot of damage from this pulse. The Shockwave from long range doesn't hit, but the Edict should be enough to do the Pugna in. It does, even with the boots onto Pugna. Pugna is one of the faster heroes, actually. You can see the boots plus 50, so he has 320 base. Is that right? Or is it? Well, he has a lot of movement speed for a little skeleton. He sure does move quickly. Leshrac had to stop to pop up the Edict. Doesn't even have boots yet. He was still in range to keep up with that Pugna, which did allow... Oh my god, Fishbone, what are you doing? Eating tower shots. He's going to drop from this. What? Well, I guess... Sure, and now Bambo's also going to get shredded down, so I guess trading a Crystal Maiden for a Darkseer is worth it, I guess, but... Fishbone getting really aggressive really quickly. But now we do have a couple of kills on the board. Did I miss one? Juggernaut? Oh no, that was... Okay, yeah. I just saw all of them. I saw 3 kills, and I think I'm missing one. That is going to give Juggernaut a kill. Probably a little bit more valuable than the Radiant getting a kill in the Darkseer, just leeching off the experience from that one. So we do have a couple of deaths on the GD side. So essentially it is 0-2. Darkseer, he didn't get anything from that, really. He got a little bit of experience, which is great. He's level 5. But soon there's going to be that push. Juggernaut is already level 6. I'm pretty sure the Omnislash probably won't kill him outright. But if he does have a little support, it will pretty much do the job to kill him. Mini, not yet level 5. Once he does get that, there's probably going to be a push from Skone's Elite onto that top tier 1 tower. And Darkseer doesn't have any vacuum, so he can't really defend that. He could send in some ion shells to try to slow him down. But there's a large amount of burst damage on the Skone's Elite side, so they could clear off the creep wave pretty quickly and then push down the tower. Techno Boy, Pinoy, might be in a little trouble, using that nether ward to bait him out a little bit more forward. Or perhaps he just wanted to go in and he changed his mind. But either way, he is going to be safe as Alex plus Croaky. They fall back at least for now. The Ion Shell is doing a lot to keep Regent down, taking out, wow, more than half of his HP there. And of course I missed the solo kill on Sing Sing. Techno Boy Pinoy is going to lose his life to just right clicks from the Enigma. But Pinoy shutting down Sing Sing in this mid lane. Pugna really doesn't need a whole lot to be effective though. Really, all he needs is a level 4 nether ward. Then it doesn't really matter what he has. He will be contributing to the team, assuming you put that nether ward in a good position. But still, Pugna is really one of the weakest heroes in the game. Leshrac isn't exactly the Hulk, but he makes Sing Sing look very weak on that Pugna hero. What Pugna could do very well is push towers. You can see this tower already at half health. The blast does hit the towers, and when you have Eidolons, when you have that only level 1 Shadow Wave, so not the most healing, but they're going to try to take down this tower. But here comes the Cannon Blast. You guys do not want to get hit by this. It hits everyone. Trap onto Croaky, pops Black Hole immediately, but it gets canceled by a Split Earth, killing him outright. Now Alex is on the run. Are they in the range for anything? I don't believe they are. Skane is Elite pick up another kill. At the same time, defend their tier 1 tower. Meantime, top lane, there's the phase boost for the Juggernaut, blending Regen very, very hard. Does he have an Omni Slash? Yes, he does, but he doesn't have the vision for it. He needs vision for it. He's not going to find it. He's going to pop the phase boots, and he's going to probably chase. No, he's not. Good juking from the Darkseer there, saving himself from that Omni Slash. He knew that Regen wanted to use that Omni Slash. It really just one tick of that Omni Slash would have done the Darkseer in, but the jukes are too strong with this one. And the Darkseer does live to fight another day. Still using those Ion Shells to make Regen's life a little bit difficult, but he does have a Ring of Health, so he's going to be regenerating decently. Going to go for that Battle Fury. Juggernaut wants to get as much gold as he possibly can, but he could carry in the later stage of the game. Take a look at how Black's farming. Wow, 52 for 20. Arcane Boots, probably going to be a Vanguard on him. Going to be that tanky hero that, you know, Undying usually is. Although Wagamama is not doing too bad himself as far as the creep kills, because, you know, Illuminate is pretty good at killing creeps. Well, Black is still getting a lot of easy farm, and he has yet to leave this bot lane. Once he does, then Skane's Elite, they gotta be a little bit careful, because Undying is so good once he gets a whole lot of levels. He's already level 8, which should be, yeah, it's a pretty high level on the map. And GDB unfortunately pushed down this tower to the point of denial, and it is going to be denied. Pinoy does get that tower denied. A lot of time has been wasted. Cannon Blast gonna fly through a whole bunch of them. Croaky does get chain stunned down. He does have a Shallow Grave on him. The track does drop to the Enigma's conversions, I believe. Yes, conversions did do him in, and Croaky does survive. And they also get Chen on the back of that with that Pugna Blast. Here comes Black, popped off that Flesh Golem. He's gonna go straight for Fishbone, doing the huge hits with the huge strength. He's probably going to take out that Crystal Maiden. Wagamama also on the run, being slowed slightly by the Ghoul. It's going to be enough, and Skane's Elite, they just got completely wiped in this fight. They didn't get a single one, focusing the person with Shallow Grave on. That is what Dazzle brings to the table. And of course the instant teleportation in from the Undying. Laid down that Tombstone, level 4. And if you don't focus that Tombstone, you're in for a pretty bad time. Because it doesn't look like the most impressive spell. But if you wait for too long, if you wait for like 5-10 seconds, then you're in a little bit of trouble. Because the ghouls start to stack up, and then you're pretty much screwed. Regen is forced to port from the top lane to try to deal with this push. With the horses flying out, they should be able to hold on to this tower, at least for now. GDB still sticking around this area. I don't think they actually want to push. Bambo is going to find a little bit of free time on his top lane to get some farm. But I'm sure the Skane's Elite squad will return up there shortly. Regardless, GDB do take a lead in this game as far as the kills go. Lead as far as the gold plus the experience. Mini is going to find Croaky, going to take a stun. He does have Regen right in the wings. Doesn't have that Omni Slash though. So they're just going to try to kill the Satyr Hellcaller. They might get it. Pretty close. Oh, the Soul Rip killing that Satyr Hellcaller. Not a chance on him. Poor guy. Juggernaut is going to get evacuated out of there. They get a little bit closer because they see the fact that all of GDB are moving up towards that top lane. Already Bambo doing the creep cutting. So this push is going to be so very easy for the Radiant team. They have to wait for their own creep wave, and it's going to be really rough for Skane's Elite to try to defend this. If they want to defend it at all, you can see Pinoy in the mid lane is instead pushing that out instead of opting to use his early game power. But it looks like Mini is going to get stunned. He does have a little bit of support. The Blinding Flash is there, plus a Hand of God. Croaky taking a huge amount of damage. The horses will kill him as they charge on through. Pinoy has been relocated back into this fight, or recalled rather. I don't think he actually got a whole lot done, but they do catch the Enigma out of position, do take him out in the jungle. As he was trying to get a wraparound, did not expect that many people on the enemy side to actually be there. This could be the retaliatory push from Skane's Elite. They do have that level 4 edict. They do have a, well, level what, 2 on that healing ward, plus the horses to clear off the creep wave. And it looks like GDB, yeah, they might want to defend this. They could drop down a Tombstone and do a lot of harassment damage. Maybe try to get a cheese kill onto one of the support intelligence heroes. And they are going to defend this. Horses to fly through. Black is surged up. He's looking for blood. He's going to find someone. He's not going to find someone. But both top tier towers do remain safe, at least for the moment. Mid lane region is finding a little bit of free time to farm. Keeper of the Light will not have a recall up if he doesn't recall him soon. And Kuroki getting surged up, going to hunt towards the Chen one more time. Let's see if they can turn it around just like last time. 3-man Crystal Nova plus a blinding bash once again. The blast from Pugna is going to miss. And the Chen once again being caught out of position but still escapes with his life. Bambo and Black taking a face full of Horsey. As they are forced back at least a little bit. They're just going to rejoin with their creep wave and then push right onto the mid lane. In the meantime, Region plus Pinoy with level 4 Edict do take down the mid lane tower, but it looks like it's going to be a trade as the top lane tower is not long for life. Waga is in a very, very awkward position, instantly teleporting out of there. He is going to make it out alive. He's doing a little bit of harassment damage, fortification to slow their push down, but regardless, the Pugna does get that kill. Let's see if they want to keep going, because Pinoy and Region, they're heading towards the bot lane. They want to get another tier 1 tower, but GDB, they might want to get a tier 2. They do have blasts, 1 pair of arcane boots, at least 2 pairs of arcane boots, plus a bottle on Sing Sing, level 4 blast. This tower is going to take huge chunk damage, although not if the backdoor protection is active. Horses fly out, kill the Eidolons, Nova as well. Just trying to thin the creep wave. They want that backdoor protection onto the tower. In the meantime, in the bot lane, Pinoy plus Region, they have taken down the tier 1 on the bot lane. Looks like they're going to keep going. I don't believe Skane's Elite know that all GDB are still on this top lane, so this could be a little bit risky for them, although ultimately it's not going to be very bad for them, as well they do now see teleportations coming in. Undying has instead opted for the Hood of Defiance. Let's see if he wants to go for a pipe on top of that, or go for a little bit more health. You do get a lot of health from that DK. And the pipe will, and the Hood, or slash Piper, both of them, will help a lot against this anti-push lineup from Skane's Elite. Mitigate a lot of damage that the Shrek would put out. Of course, you pretty much shrug off 1 or 2 Illuminates. And of course, Juggernaut Blade Fury does magical damage, which doesn't make any sense. Oh no, Bambo, you do not want to be there. There's an instant Omni Slash plus an Edict. Bambo is going to get grinded down very easily. Juggernaut finding a kill in the enemy jungle, and Bambo really did not expect that one. Looks like Wog on the top lane is going to be pushing this in. He does have Fishbone right behind him to support. And GDB, they're nowhere to be found, so this tower is probably going to be taken down as they are constantly farming. Keep in mind that Region does have the most farm on the map, and he is the deadliest hero on the map once he gets a little bit of farm. But GDB, they still have yet to use their giant team fight combination. I'd love to see it work out for them just because it'll be great to see just visually. Sing Sing getting a tower deny. Very good play on him. Instant teleportation in. No mana leak on the Keeper of the Light, so really can't do anything about that. So the score is now 6-6. Towers in favor of Skane's Elite, albeit slightly because that top tower did get denied, but they do have 1 still standing for themselves, so they are still ahead a little bit. The gold advantage, experience advantage, very, very even. Of course, in the long run, this will favor Skane's Elite. They do have, in my opinion, a slightly better late game. That is, if they can get over the hump that is GDB's mid game, because their mid game is absolutely terrifying. The Undying, the mid game is just a playground. Late game he does pretty well too, but not as much. And of course, Pugna, Darkseer, and Enigma, all pretty huge mid game monsters. So if Skane's Elite can get over that, then they should be okay come late game. Of course, this is still a little bit too early to tell because we haven't seen a huge, massive 5v5 teamfight breakout quite yet. So we're going to see how the GDB squad want to play those out. We're going to see how Skane's Elite react. So far, the blinding flashes from the Keeper of Light have been pretty good. But then again, it's not really the right clicks that do the damage for the GDB side. It's the huge amount of spell damage. You get the Wall of Epica, Black Hole, Vacuum, Blast, everything the Undying has, really. That's how they depend on their damage. So Skane's Elite, they'd probably benefit a lot from getting a pipe. Looks like no one is actually working towards that. Oh, Mini, you do not want to be there. Bambo does find a couple of creeps. The Hellcaller is probably going to get shredded. Oh no, poked to death with an Ion Shell. Now Mini is going to go toe-to-toe with Bambo, looking for a vacuum onto the high ground. Not going to happen though. Horse is going to try to defend the tower, and denied by Leshrac actually. So despite the pushing power from GDB, they did get 1 tower, at least, I think it was only 1 tower, denied from them. It's going to be really hard to push against the Skane's Elite side. Frost Nova does have a pretty long range. The circle doesn't look too big, but the actual cast circle is pretty large, so that extends that a lot. Then, of course, you have the Illuminate constantly flying through when it hits, of course. Skane's Elite, they just want to farm. GDB, they still have a long ways to go as far as their effectiveness in the game. I mean, it's probably not the best thing to say. They have a lot more effectiveness in this game, so they are on a rather large timer. They can just take their time, as much time as they want. If they constantly take the towers down, and that is going to set themselves up for a pretty good situation later on in the game. And Undying is getting a lot of farm right now. He is 3rd place. His Sing Sing is actually 2nd. Kind of surprising there. What does Pugna actually have? He has Mech. So the pushing from GDB is pretty vicious. Unfortunately for them, the enemy team does have a Keeper of the Light plus a Tornado on the other end. So horses are going to fly, kill up the entire creep wave. Really, GDB, they depend on a creep wave to push. They don't really have a Chen or Enchantress to bring those neutral creeps in. Someone's either going to have to tank that up, or they're just going to have to keep pushing against these horses. That's a really tough situation. Like, you want to push, and you know that you can. You know that the enemy also has a huge amount of counter push, just like that. All the while, Region on the top lane is getting free farm, but we do have a wraparound from Kuroki looking for a black hole. He's going to find Waga plus Mini. The vacuum does miss, though. Mini in a horrible position. There goes the Flesh Golem. Chen is the first one to fall. Tombstone in the middle of nowhere, really. So Skane's Elit could just fall back from this Bambo. Wants to get another vacuum in. Region has been ported into the base there without the Chen. There's a clap onto the Undying, but he has so much strength right now. Gonna take a splitter, gonna take horse as well. Gonna get Pulse Nova down. The Omnislash is on him. The spin as well. Black is probably gonna get, no, he's gonna get surged out of there. He's gonna be fine. Kuroki gonna close in for Region. Look for anything on him. Tombstone's still up, forming a wall of zombies, really. And Pulse, or Skane's Elit, they have to get in there to kill the Tombstone, or at least wait for timeout as it does. And the Shallow Grave saving that Undying, even with that pipe taking a ton of damage there. They didn't even take down this tower. They completely skipped this tower. Now the tower is going to get brought down. See if they can deny it. The tower does get taken down by the Pugna. Skane's Elit lose another tower, plus a hero on top of that with the Chen death. So GDB doing pretty well for themselves. They could keep going, although they're probably just going to balance out their lanes just a little bit more. It's really hard to push against these horses. Although with a pipe now in their arsenal, plus a mech on the Pugna, they do have a lot of longevity in their pushes. So GDB just playing it slow and steady. Skane's Elit, they're just trying to buy as much time as they can for Region to farm up. They're doing a pretty decent job. I mean, really against a team like GDB, you don't expect to hold on to all your towers. It's just not going to happen. Basically, when you have a Pugna on the other side, you're not expected to keep hold of all your towers. And we do have someone getting killed as I try to take a drink of water. Crystal Maiden getting completely owned in the river. I should really put the cup on the other side so I could keep using the mouse. That would be the smart thing to do. But I don't really like it there. It's right in front of something that I would rather not have it block. And now we do have all 5 heroes from the GDB side going to the bot lane once again. CM's going to be up for this. Looks like she's a cancer patient as well, so unfortunately for CM, that death gave her cancer. But all 5 on the GDB side are on the bot lane. We do have a couple heroes on the top lane, though. Pinoy does have a teleportation scroll, plus he's going for his classic Dual Scepter build. With Region still up the creep wave, the Edict to do the damage. This tower is going to be brought down. Problem is for them is that their tier 2 on the top lane is also in a little bit of trouble. Keeper of the Light sending out horses? No, he's not. Gotta watch out because another smoke wraparound is happening. Kuroki and Alex on the front lines, and Bambo going around the back. Wagamama, you gotta get out of here right now. He does have a 4-staff. He's gonna 4-staff himself back. He will get out of there alive, and wow. Skane's Elit, they're gonna push the high ground, forcing so many teleportations back. Black is gonna get a pretty large decay, gonna get 2 hits on that. But Pinoy looks like he wants to fight this. No, he's gonna get sent back by the Chen, so just doing as much damage as he can. They do take the tier 2 tower, and somehow they hold on to this top tier 2. Waga with the horses. It's really hard to push against Keeper of the Light. Really what you gotta do is get a pick so that you outnumber them, and then just dive very aggressively for it. But unfortunately, all the Skane's Elit heroes were on the top lane, and GDB, I don't think they expected them to commit to that as much as they did. So they did lose that opportunity to get... Oh, hello, frame rate lag. Lose that opportunity to get a tier 2 tower. GDB, they want to use this black hole now. Not yet level 2, but you know, black hole, level 1, level 2. Not the hugest difference in the world, because you just get a little more damage. Which is nice and all, but it's really not why you use black hole at all. Darkseer, not yet with any of the wall replica. But GDB, they want to go for a Roshan. it's not going to be the fastest Roshan. They don't have that right-click power. Most of their damage is spells, and a lot of that will not affect Roshan. Oh god, X is lagging my computer. But in this situation, they could take a Roshan fight, so that might be what they're looking for. I don't think... Oh, okay, well, Region's going to be okay with that, but I don't believe that GDB could take a Roshan kill unless they get a good fight. Oh, Region, no, you do not want to get... What are you doing? Stop. Region, please, stop. Healing Ward is great and everything, but it's only level 2, and now Bambo's going to come in with a surge. Let's see if the vacuum will hit, as our computer is lagging a whole lot. Oh god, not again. I think I have to restart my computer. Oh god, I really don't want to, but I think I have to. Look at this, it's horrible, but a fight is going to break out next time, though. I'm going to cut this, and then we're going to come back, and the frame rate is going to be better, I promise. Alright guys, a little bit behind where I just stopped off, but that is because I do not want to miss anything. It looked like a fight was about to happen, so Region has yet to get his face smashed in by these ancients right here. But yeah, I don't know, I guess my computer just doesn't like handling Dota. Although I didn't really even play that much or have it open for very long. But anyway, we do have a very similar situation here. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit. There we go. So now Bambo going to close in. Look for a vacuum onto Region. Instead, punch down his healing ward. Looks like GDB. They're going to steal the rest of these ancients. That's going to be pretty bad for Skane's Elite. Region very weak in this fight, but does have that Omni Slash, does have healing ward in 30 seconds. Getting a vacuum back. Instant Blade Fury. Hand to God as well, keeping him alive. Tombstone gets dropped in black on the front lines. Forces to fly through the entirety of GDB. That's going to weaken them quite a bit. Looks like Chen's creeps are going to be the only things to die in this engagement. But as I was saying before, GDB, I don't believe they actually have enough. I don't think they have what it takes to actually kill Roshan. They're going to go in there anyway. And their right-click damage is very, very soft. It's all spell damage. And really, the only chance of them getting a Roshan is if Skane's Elite open up with it, and then they follow in through. Because GDB, if they catch Skane's Elite in this tight corridor, then Skane's Elite are dead. There's no doubt about it. The Black Hole, everything that Undying has to offer, plus everything the Darkseer has to offer, there's no way that Skane's Elite will win a fight like that. But instead, looks like they're going to pressure in the tier 3 towers. Very aggressive pushing coming out from the GDB side. Again, their lineup is pretty much built for this. Mid-game power into pushing. They don't have a single pick off yet, so they are going to struggle a little bit against these constant Illuminate blasts. They're constantly flying through. Combined with the Crystal Novas, everyone's going to take a little bit of damage. But still, I mean, Techno Boy, Pinoy on the bot lane, pushing that out pretty aggressively. Mini taking his time in the jungle. And GDB, they're forced back. They did take the tower down to about half HP, and well, they could still get a pick off onto Mini, who's in a pretty dangerous situation, although he should be fine. Region pushing out the top lane as well. So Skane's Elite, they weren't really scared about this push. They knew that the Keeper of the Light could hold on to that lane, and that's exactly what he did. Those Illuminates, I mean, what are you going to do against those? You have to kill this Keeper of the Light, or you have to take a team fight beforehand if you're going to try to get a push. Dual Scepter onto Kroki. Split Earth is not going to hit as Kroki pops off a BKB charge. This is a very long one, though. Not 10 seconds onto that BKB charge. Leshrac taking a lot of damage, and the Enigma trying to block for the Dazzle to get close enough, but the Phase Boots onto Pinoy. Oh no, Pinoy, you just went the wrong way. He's going to get recalled back, unfortunately failing. Now Leshrac is going to die. If he just ran straight up, he would have been fine. But I guess he didn't see that Dazzle was coming in. That did allow him to get that poison touch on him. That ultimately led to the Leshrac's death. And now the GDB side, they smell something in the... They smell that they could get a tower right now. I actually don't know what I was going for by saying that, but yeah, I fixed it. It's okay. But they're going to push down this tier 2 tower. Horses are constantly going to fly. Fortification as well. It's going to slow them down, but they could spread out enough so that they don't get affected that much by the pushing. In the meantime, mid lane, it is being pushed down, so it might end up being a tier 2 for tier 2 trade. Mini plus Regions, a lot of damage, plus the healing ward giving this push a lot of longevity. Looks like there's a dive, actually. No, that was not a dive. But the tower on both sides, they're going to go down. Skane's Elite. Oh no, they might lose Fishbone right here. They are going to lose the Crystal Maiden. Hand to God trying to keep her alive. Force Staff also. Crystal Maiden lives at 5 HP, but one more right click will not be enough. the smoke will not be enough. I'm sorry. Croaky on the front line still with the surge. Crystal Maiden buys back instantly. Gonna teleport right on in there. It's Region. The front line is gonna get an Omnislash on a Croaky. He has a black hole up though, and he's gonna be perfectly fine. Region trying to spin his way through. Not gonna happen though. He's very low on HP. He's gonna drop as well. Leshrac also dying. And now the base of Skane's Elite in full breach. But do GDB have enough gas to actually kill the Raxes? Bambo's going to take down Fishbone for a second time. Tier 3 tower is still very, very healthy. Undying very healthy as well, but the horses are still flying through. That is going to mean that there's no substantial creep wave for GDB to push in with. The Chen creeps are going to fall, vacuum back onto Wagamama, but looks like Skane's Elite have held at least for the moment. Bambo going to get force staffed out before the horses can nail him to the floor. But Skane's Elite, they defend their tier 3 towers, but GDB, I mean, they're making full use of this early mid-game lineup that they have. Undying on the front lines always, and then of course the vacuum back, just fishing for people. If you catch anyone in the vacuum, they're pretty much dead. You can see the Crystal Maiden, she was close to surviving. But once you get vacuum back like that, there's really not much that you could do except pray for a good force staff, which did happen, but unfortunately didn't happen soon enough. Skane's Elite, they're in a little bit of a rough situation right now, although not by much. The gold advantage, experience advantage, definitely not showing a huge advantage for GDB, but what they do have is momentum. They've been pushing everywhere fairly successfully. They haven't taken down the towers necessarily, but they've been slowly working down the towers, and really they have all the time in the world, or have most of the time in the world. Giant team fight has yet to connect with the Skane's Elite side. The black hole was decent, but there was really no follow-up on top of that. Now, this might be their shot at doing something, but they're just going to run right by each other. The Ursa does get revealed. Let's see if Chen is going to notice that. Well, they're going to notice Black right in the front line. He's got a 3-man decay, and Region right in the middle of everything is going to take a huge amount of damage. He's going to try to spin and teleport himself out of there. Should make it out just fine. Mini is going to get punched down. The Region and the Pinoy also got right down. Now Fishbone can take a huge Decrep blast. He's going to drop as well. Skane's Elite, they did not get the upper hand in that fight. Looks like the Keeper Light does make it out alive with the Force Staff. But GDB, I mean, that's basically what their lineup is good at, just thrashing you in a 5v5 team fight. Skane's Elite, their lineup is not suited for that. Chen, not suited for that. Keeper of the Light, if he gets caught, he's pretty much dead. Unless he doesn't get focused, in which case he'll be pretty much alive. But Skane's Elite, they cannot afford to take those 5v5 team fights, but GDB, they're bringing the heat every single time, and really, what are you going to do versus that? You have to take a team fight, or else you're just going to give up your tier 3s. The push is slow and steady. Kuroki on the front lines with the Blink Dagger BKB. The Pipe taking one hit of those horses might be enough time to bring down this tier 3 tower. The Blast is going to fly. The Frost Nova is going to fly, and the Weave Armor. Bambo going to get chain stunned down. He's going to get Shallow Grave. He should be fine. Vacuuming back Mini plus Pinoy. Mini is going to drop right off the bat. Black's still very healthy on the front lines, warding everyone on Skane's Elite back. He does have that Tombstone as well, so we can drop that at a moment's notice. Wagamama going to fire off more horses. Kuroki taking a lot of damage still. Now he's in a really rough position. Going to blink forward for that black hole, only onto Fishbone. However, the Omnislash did go off before. Where did the Omnislash actually go? What the hell? Yeah, it did get caught, but he's going to try to spin himself out of this. But I don't think it's going to be enough. The Wall of Evercut in a very, very good position, denying Skane's Elite a lot of movement right there. Now Pinoy trying to do as much damage as he can with the Pulse, with the Edict. Is not going to be enough, though. Split Earth onto Black, only slowing him down, though. And now the Enigma is going to drop. Bambo might drop as well, but no. Everyone on GDB is still very healthy. Pugna is going to burn the last of his mana to clean up a whole bunch more kills. Region is now in a little bit of trouble. He's going to take that Poison Touch. The minus armor on him as well. Vacuum, unfortunately, is not going to hit for GDB. But now the tier 3s, the tier 3 has been dropped for quite a while now, and the Raxes are going to start taking fire. The melee Rax is going to go down. The range Rax are going to go down. GDB with the early game lineup playing it out absolutely perfectly. Skane's Elite, unfortunately, I mean, there's really, you can't fault them too much because GDB just plowed right in. There's nothing you could really do about that. What they needed to do was get a little bit more of an advantage earlier on, and really just, you know, kill the fragile heroes, kill the Pugna, make sure this Dazzle doesn't get to level 11 where he'll have a ton of Shallow Grave and Poison Touch. Skane's Elite, they're not out of this quite yet, although with a 21-7 kill deficit, it's looking very, very rough for them. Even if Juggernaut does get very close in, what is he going to do? I mean, dying is just so tanky at this point. Of course, you have the Dazzle to save anyone, and then Pugna with the Decrepify, kind of acting as a Ghost Scepter, plus a whole shit ton of items on top of that. So the Juggernaut could, in theory, still carry this game. Although he's going to need a lot more farm, and really he doesn't have enough at this point. He has a ton of creep kills, yes, and he doesn't really... he has a lot of just gold income in general. The problem is everyone from GDB has a lot of gold income. And when everyone is like that, there's no one that you could instantly pick off. The Omni Slash is not going to be that guaranteed one kill when everyone is just so tanky, even if you do have that Battle Fury. Skane's Elite looks like they're going to try to make a desperation push in this mid lane. If GDB see this and actually want to counter it, then they could just crush it so easily. Once again, unfortunately for me, GDB have yet to connect with their giant team fight ults. And the Black Hole's been catching one, kind of two with the Omni Slash and Juggernaut. Hit 3 on the mid lane, taking a lot of damage because of that Edict fortification. Gonna pop. Bambo surging himself forward, looking for a vacuum on everyone. Gonna find that Chen, but he instantly gets trapped. Bambo doesn't matter though. Mini is now in a world of hurt. Goodbye, Chen. It was nice knowing you. Dazzle with the right clicks does pick up that kill, and Mini, I mean, you cannot really afford to lose heroes like that if you're Skane's Elite, because not only do you need those heroes alive, but that every single time a hero gets picked off, GDB, they're just going to have another opportunity to push. Even though Chen isn't the best anti-pusher, I mean, that Hand of God has saved the Juggernaut a couple times. Really, if you don't have that, then what are you gonna do? You need the Hand of God. There's so much burst damage, there's so much AoE going out there. Hand of God is essentially an AoE heal. If you don't have that, then you're pretty much screwed. Chen is going to be up again, but unfortunately he's not going to have the creep army necessary, so that burned a lot of time for the Chen. And really, GDB pushed all the way up to the tier 3s uncontested. They're going to want to look towards another set of Raxes. Skane's Elite, they are going to be hard pressed to defend this, because the bottom lane is going to be pushing in for GDB. Looks like Region is going to go down and take care of that, but he's got to be careful not to get caught out of position. GDB, they're just sticking around. There's the pipe being popped. Blast and everything else, killing off that creep wave. The pipe is going to block that first wave of horses, vacuuming back Wangma and a Hex, and now this Keeper Light is going to drop. Force Staff or not, Dying gets yet another kill, as this tower is now going to drop. Blasts are going to fly, but the right click damage still very slow, but it doesn't matter because Skane's Elite, they cannot mount a defense against this. There's the Blink Black Hole from Groki, only catching Pinoy, but the Omni Slash will cancel that off, but Juggernaut, look at this Omni Slash, it's doing nothing. Now he's going to try to spin himself out of here. He will probably make it out, but really when an Omni Slash does that little damage, you know you're in a little bit of trouble. These mid lane racks are going to start taking fire. Tombstone, unfortunately, within range of that. That's the unfortunate placement of that Tombstone right there. But Techno Boy, Pinoy is going to get hexed one more time. Hand of God going to pop out, trying to save him, but a vacuum back plus a blast is going to pop him. Region on the front lines. He cannot fight 1v5. He's going to try to spin his way out of there, but but 200 HP, I'm pretty sure the low right-click damage of the GDB squad will be enough to do him in, and it does. Mid lane Raxes have fallen, or they will fall in a little bit. There's the set of Raxes. And now GDB, they're just going to fall back. They're going to slide up to this top lane, maybe thin out this creep wave. They're going to go for a tier 2, and they're going to go for the final set of Raxes. And at this much of a deficit, I mean, it's not the most. I've seen a lot more of teams. I've seen a lot of games where the team has had a lot more deficit. But still, I mean, they simply cannot ramp up into the late game enough. Region does not have enough to actually kill anyone really quickly. And everyone else, I mean, everyone else on Skane's Elite, they're starting to lose their potency. The Juggernaut, only the one who's really relevant in the early stage of the game. Skane's Elite went for an early game lockdown to kind of strategy to buy Region enough time to actually get the farm he needs. And it kind of worked. Like, he did get a lot of farm, but unfortunately Skane's Elite, they simply don't have the mid game necessary. At least they don't have the mid game comparable to that of the GDB squad. You can see now they're all in the bot lane, pushing that out. Skane's Elite going to do what they can, push out the other lanes, try to potentially force someone back, or go for a desperation push, 4 on the mid lane, 1 on the bot lane. GDB, they could just plow themselves right through though, or just at least teleport back. Is this a BO2? I don't know. It is. I don't know what that means. I guess they play 2 and then they tie? I have no clue. Black on the front lines, instant hex onto Region, and now he's going to take a vacuum back. He's in a lot of trouble. He's going to get healed up quite a bit, so he should be fine, at least for the moment. He gets sent back to the base as well. Kroki to blink forward, looking for Mini. He's going to get recalled back, and that does mean that everyone who's going to league going to get out of there. They did manage to slow down this push on the top lane, But at this point, they're just delaying the inevitable. I feel they do get pressured back all the way to the tier 2 and then eventually the tier 3s, and there's nothing they could do at that point. They're not going to win a fight, Skane's Elite. The only thing that they could try to do is delay, and whether that means pushing the bottom lane like Pinoy is going to do, or trying to get a pick off, or trying to get the bigger item for the Juggernaut. They need to do these things so that they just don't outright die. So it's going to be very difficult for them because GDB, they could just push out the top lane just so easily. And Skane's Elite, I don't even think they're equipped to get a pick off. Like, who are they going to kill? Pugna? He's a 4-staff BKB mech plus a Decrepify in case of emergencies. This Pugna is deceptively durable. And looks like Pinoy is going to get a push on this bot lane, probably going to take down this tower. But it's a little bit too little too late. Skane's Elite, they're trying to delay, they're trying to force back TPs, but I don't know. Doesn't look like it's going to be a pretty situation for them. They might take down a tier 3, even if they do take the Raxes. I'm sure GDB will be okay with that because they'll just take these Raxes and then make it Mega Creeps. It looks like GDB, they're actually going to teleport him. Kuroki finally getting the 3-man black hole. Bambo going to vacuum in, make that a little bit tighter. The wall vep's going to drop as well. And just those two heroes in a combination with each other, taking out 3 heroes. Skane's Elite, they're without buybacks, and now I do believe this is going to be the Doom push straight up the mid lane. No more bullshitting around on that top lane. They're just going to go straight in, straight for the tier 4, straight for the throne, and then go for the win that way. Skane's Elite, I don't know. I do feel like they could have made do without this Crystal Maiden pick. They kept the Leshrac as a support hero and then picked up something like a Queen of Pain. At least anyone for a little bit more straight up damage would have been very beneficial for them. The Queen of Pain, the Crystal Maiden really didn't do anything the Leshrac couldn't do in the top lane, and the Leshrac didn't really bring anything special to the mid lane either. As GDB, they're just farming the enemy at this point. They're going to pipe the pop. Pop the pipe. They're going to go straight for the tier 3 towers in the top lane. With Regen down, they can take these very easily. Fortification or no fortification. Bambo getting 4-staffed around with that rupture action. He's going to take a Chain Stun plus a Frostbite. He's going to get dropped. But now Black on the front lines with that Shiva's Guard, amplifying all the damage, which means that pretty much everyone from Skane's Elite, they got to run because you cannot fight this Undying. Look how much damage he's taken. He's taking nothing from the Pulse Nova with that pipe, and even though he's out of mana, he doesn't really give a shit because the tier 4s are under heat now. Skane's Elite, they're doing a decent job at forcing GDB back, but I don't really think it's going to be enough. Look at Black just not giving a crap, so much strength on him, and he's just tanking 4 heroes, no big deal. Will he walk out of this? No, he will not. There goes his monster kill streak, so Skane's Elite do successfully defend. But, I mean, that's just not going to be enough, I don't think. I don't really want to count them out yet, but I mean, they're 2 Raxes down. They're 12 to 31. The gold advantage, the experience advantage is absolutely massive. And GDB, I mean, they're just going to get their resurrections, and then they're just going to push right back in again, this time on the top lane. So I guess maybe they should have bullshitted a little bit more with that. But still, they're still in prime condition to win this game. If they do end up losing, that is not going to be because Skane's Elite played beautifully. It's because GDB made some crucial mistakes in doing something. Like Regen's going to get critted down. No, 50 HP survival on him. Wall of Africa does get dropped to slow down this Roshan, as the rest of the GDB heroes are slowly moving in. I wonder if Skane's Elite could actually take down this Roshan. Wall of Replica not being useful anymore, so the Roshan is going to drop. It's all well and good. Bambo going to get another vacuum in, going to make some very deadly illusions, going to dive right in. Not going to get anything out of that, though, and now he's in a little bit of an awkward position. Uh-oh, you got to move. Oh, he did move, and Kuroki went and replaced him. No, he actually blinked forward. So Roshan has been brought down, but I don't think GDB are too impressed with that. They just have so much of an advantage. Roshan will not be enough to bring Skane's Elite back into this game, unless they take a miraculous fight right here, but I don't see that actually happening. They can just slow push out this top lane with the mid lane pushing in, with the bot lane pushing in. There's 2 people on Skane's Elite. They're going to have to be forced to defend this unless they want to lose tier 4s, which pretty sure they don't want to do that. Keeper Light needs to be here, though. Oh, no, you have balls, Leshrac. I'll give you that. Diving in, going to get sent back to the base. Just thinning off the creep wave once again, though. The tier 3 is going to drop very shortly. Chen actually taking out one of the Necro Warriors. It's pretty cool. But Mini is just getting completely owned. There's the blink forward from Kuroki. Black hole only into Wagamama. Come on, Kuroki, you can do better than that. But Wagamama is going to drop. That's the first counter to War Vision trying to take out Sing Sing, popping off to BKB. Does have Ethereal up his sleeve as well. 4-man vacuum going to bring back everyone from Skane's Elite as they get demolished by that Shiva's guard. The only one alive is going to be... Oh, well, I guess Vision's still alive. I don't know how he lived through that. But he's not going to live long. Pinoy's going to drop as well. Actually, well, look at that. They defended. Okay, Lendying. Let's see if you can do this time. You have stick charges. You have decay. What are you running around for? Skane's Elite, they defend one more time. I don't know if I called this a little bit prematurely. But, okay, there you go. We have buybacks this time. Even Darkseer should... Oh, he doesn't have a buyback. Not for a minute, but the tier 4 does get dropped. And Skane's Elite, I don't know how they're actually taking these fights. Because, like, all their supporting cast is getting annihilated. But then GDB, I guess they're just running out of steam, running out of cooldowns necessary to kill this Juggernaut, who's does some pretty good damage to those crits. 400, 500 crits. Not to be messed around with. And GDB, they just want this game to end. But Skane's Elite, they're defending pretty well. Still, I don't think it's going to be enough. I mean, 2 racks is down. GDB, they could just slow push all day long. But they're like being really aggressive. They did take down the tier 3 tower. A lot of damage on those racks as well. So they're just going to move right on to that top lane. Maybe Kuroki could actually hit a black hole on more than one person this time. It'd be very nice for him to do. Darkseer is going to be surging himself forward onto the front lines of battle. Until then, GDB, they're just going to wait patiently for that Darkseer to arrive. Kuroki taking a huge hit of pure damage right there. Necro books from the Chen, I believe. No, Keeper? I think I actually got those. That was stolen by... Was that stolen? Oh, it doesn't matter because Mini getting caught out once again. Oh, he's going to live with the Mech Force Staff. And again, to God, Mini is going to get vacuumed back, though. He's going to die right now. And there goes the Chen. No gold for buyback. And now this is going to be the end. God, Skane's Elite just refusing to die, refusing to GG. You know, if they actually win this game, I'm going to feel very foolish. But their Juggernaut doesn't have enough, I don't feel. And, I mean, GDB, they have all the time in the world. They have Raxes barreling down in the mid lane and the bot lane. Tier 3 is already down, and they don't want to get hit by this. That's going to hurt a little bit. The mech is going to instantly pop off, and now, here we go. Pipe popping off as well on really everyone, actually. Forces on the front lines, as is Pinoy, but he's got to watch out because he's right next to the Undying. He's going to take a huge amount of additional damage. He's going to drop because he's sitting in the wall of Omni Slash. Going to bring down the Darkseer of all people, and Alex getting worked down by the Region Juggernaut. He's going to spin him down. Everyone from GDB, they want this Juggernaut dead. They're going to get a Decrepify on him, plus the magic damage. Will be enough, though. He's living at 200 HP. There's the final decay. And Pinoy still alive. Did he buy back? I think he did, but he's going to drop as well. The life steal from Zig to keeping him alive. Mini now in a very rough position. Doesn't have a Force Staff. Doesn't have anything to get out of this. He's going to take constant magic damage plus the Shiva's Guard. Extra damage. Soul Rip not going to be enough as we have more teleportations coming in. It's going to be Wagamama. He's the only one left, and I don't like his chances right now. As Bambo does teleport or does arrive back into this fight, and just go for the Raxes, guys. Stop messing around. Waga is going to get punched down by the Starseries, plus the Ion Shell on top of that. Force staffing himself out will save him, at least for the moment, as Fishbone teleports to the front lines. But what is the CM going to do against these 3 heroes? He's going to do absolutely nothing. Raxes are fortified, but they're going to drop very soon. Blinding Flash going to keep them alive just for a little bit longer. Bambo's got to fall back just a little bit. Vacuuming them both back, though. Black out of mana, so he can't really do anything to capitalize on that. The Raxes just hit it. There you go. Melee Raxes do go down. In region, still 40 seconds until respawn. With only Wagamama plus Fishbone to defend, there's not much they can do. Kuroki just going to close the gap, right-click that Keeper of the Light, and now he could just ignore Fishbone, but vacuuming the Enigma in will mean that Skane's Elite finally get team wiped. Wow, that lasted a lot longer than I really think it should have. The GG has been called. Oh, we don't even have to wait for them to kill the throne because they have that, whatever, forfeit or whatever mode button thing in tournaments, which is pretty cool. Thanks for watching, guys. GDB versus Skane Elit from the Starseries Season 3 LAN event. This one does go to the GDB squad, aka X Mouse. More games to come, and this one is a little bit rough, but whatever. We'll do better next time.